be a misunderstanding about. First, he says that there will be perilous times. That means dangerous times. Times of danger. Times where there's concerns out there in the world. That fear is going to grow in the world. So that's perilous times. Then he talks about lovers of themselves. And what this really means is that people will be preoccupied with their own selfish desires. I don't know about you, but in the world, I can see people becoming more and more preoccupied with their own stuff, with less and less thought about anybody else. You know, I was, no, I need to quit. I can't go there because I need to get going. I will tell you one of them. I was driving the other day and somebody did something. I went, have mercy. And I thought, you know, there's just some things in life I don't understand. And I started making a little mental list of them. I'll tell you the first one. I do not understand why somebody flies, comes up behind a vehicle, and then moves over into the right lane, moves up 10 feet, and now they're sitting behind the person that they were behind is passing. Couldn't you see that other car while you were coming up? But people are like this today. And it's only what's right out in front of them. And they have trouble seeing very far. And that's called being preoccupied with your own stuff. It's just, I can't go as far with that one, so I'm going to slide over here, and at least I can go 10 feet further. And I'm better because I'm 10 feet further ahead. God help us. Then the next thing that I want to pull out here is unloving. Unloving. This means without natural affection in the King James. And Strong's puts it this way. It's hard-hearted toward kindred. It's hard-hearted toward family. You know, and I mean, there's always families. Families can be a piece of work sometimes. Can somebody say amen? But it's gone up to a new level. I mean, I'm not saying this never happened before, but it was a lot less. But today, when you hear of parents sticking their newborn child in a dumpster, that's unloving. That's being hard-hearted toward your own kindred. I just have trouble getting my mind around that. And I mean, and I sympathize with how a person feels. Anybody that has had a child for at least a year understands there's times you just want that thing to be quiet. Can somebody say amen? But for people to just haul off and beat it, to smack it, to throw it, that's hard-hearted toward your own kindred, toward your own family. That's increasing today. People have little value. The value on kids is decreasing in the world. And that's part of that unloving, without natural affection, hard-hearted towards kindred. Then he says, concerning those that have a form of godliness but deny the power thereof, from such turn away. That word turn away means avoid those. Avoid them. In other words, when you put it all together, avoid those who refuse God's miraculous power. Because see, God's going to be moving in power in these last days. And we need to be on board. And people that refuse to get on board, then we don't need to be there. I've heard some people, well, I'll pray about leaving that dead church. Why? See, when God doesn't tell you what to do, you need to pray about what to do. But when God tells you to avoid that, you don't need to pray about it. You need to obey. Can you say amen? And so from that, he says, turn away. And you see, the thing of it is, a lot of times we think that a lot of the things that it's talking about can be false religions and stuff like that. But a lot of it is going to be religion that's passing itself under the name of Christianity, but really isn't. You see, one of the things that's happening today, and don't misunderstand me here. Let me first say that I'm not in favor of being abusive or putting down any group of people. Amen. We can disagree without being abusive. Amen. And with this, people of other faiths, I would not have a problem. It would not bother me to be involved in like a community thing where there are peoples from other faiths just talking about everybody having peace and tranquility in the community. I'm fine with that, and I can engage with those people on that. But we have Christians today that in those types of meetings say, we all serve the same God. But we don't. We do not serve the same God. That doesn't mean we can't be nice and get along, though. You know, and so with that, but there's a whole part of Christianity, for lack of a better phrase, that has just almost thrown the Bible out. Bible means absolutely nothing on any level to them. And that group is really what I feel a lot of the end-time prophecies about false teaching and those who have itching ears. There's a lot of people that want to hear that. Yes, we do all serve the same God. Our society wants to hear that today. It's not talking about people teaching on prosperity and healing. Because if you got a problem with that, you need to talk to Jesus, because he did the same thing. But it's the one of, well, we all serve the same God, and it's just a bunch of different religions. And we don't all serve the same God. Jesus is the way, the truth, and the life. No one comes unto the Father but by him. Amen. Again, that doesn't mean we got to be mean and ugly to other people. We can still get along. We can still be nice. But there's a difference between what we believe and what they believe. But we can still get along. Amen. But with that, Jesus goes on and he says some things in Matthew 24, verse 12. Matthew 24, 12. He says, and because lawlessness will abound,